two, one, and we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform where the stalwarts of education come on board and discuss their viewpoints on curbing topics related to education fraternity. With an experience of more than 2 decades, Entab has been associated with over 1,500 schools across India, evolving them to become new age digital campuses by providing them mature and futuristic ERP, CRM, and mobile apps. It is very rightly said that there are no good schools without good principals or without good leaders. Today, we have leading personalities from prestigious schools with us to spill some beans on the secrets behind their successfully running institutions. Let's hope. We will learn about the role of a school in building an individual's character. Let's begin by introducing our panel for today. Our first guest is Mr. Akhilesh Chaturvedi, who has been spreading the light of education since 1992. He is currently the guiding force behind DPS Marutikunj Gurugram. He was one of the brilliant minds behind the foundations of DPS Palwal and DPS Nagpur. Thank you for joining in, sir.
Thank you so much.
Moving on, our next guest is Dr. Arun Prakash, sir, who has been serving as the founder principal of several DPS schools, including DPS Guwahati, DPS Saudi Arabia. He has received the National Award for his outstanding contribution in the field of education from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. With an experience of more than 3 decades, he is presently the Managing Director of Educational Startup Price Group. Welcome on board, sir.
So,
Next, we have a very special educator who's a passionate teacher, co-learner, and a trainer who's presently associated with Delhi International School, Dwarka, as the principal. For her contribution in the field of education for over 18 years now, she has been awarded with the most progressive principal award in National Convention of Edu Leaders and the most promising principal by Global Leaders Foundation. We are honored to present Dr. Priti Ojha, ma'am. Welcome on board, ma'am. Next, we have with us is Dr. Manoj Dubey, sir, who has now been working for more than 35 years and is currently associated with DPS Rajkot as the principal. For his contribution towards the field of education, Sir has received CBSE Award 2014 from the Government of India and the Best Educationist Award by International Institute of Education and Management. He has also established community service club in his school and is looking after an old age home too. Thank you for joining in, sir. It is a pleasure to host you.
thank you.
Last but not the least, we have Deepa Bhatt ma'am, who is serving as the principal of NEA Senior Secondary School. With her experience of being associated with various schools across India, she holds an experience in journalism as well. She has also been awarded with several prestigious awards for her remarkable contribution. Welcome, Deepa Bhatt ma'am. Welcome on board, ma'am. All right, done with the introduction. So let's begin with our topic for today. Our today's topic is must have tools to run, build, and grow your school, and how importance of a school plays in building the character of an individual. So, as you all are great leaders and you've dedicated your entire life in running institutions, I'm sure your my audience would love to hear about what qualities should a leader possess. Beginning with, let's say, Dr. Arun, sir.
Thank you, sir. A leader has to be a good follower first. A person who want to be a leader and born leader and always want to lead becomes very difficult. So only those teachers become a good leader who were following rules nicely, they were good in the classroom, those who work honestly today and then tomorrow they become leader. Because leader is the first worker who hide work and understand the gravity of work and that he pursues. That first part. Second thing, a leader should feel that he has to lead almost equals. If not education, even the teacher who has just joined is academically in so many ways is equal to maybe the senior most teacher in many ways. So leading intellectuals need a totally different type of setup. So the present system of corporate governance of managing a management institute is, and a company and a school, there is a little difference where you have to understand the feeling of the teacher, respect of the teacher, discipline, and bringing it forward. So leading in forefront, being a good worker, and then leading by example is what required today.
Wonderful. Uh, Akhilesh, sir, what are your viewpoints?
Yeah, good afternoon. Just taking from Dr. Arun Prakash ji, uh, very difficult to define the qualities of a leader. In my opinion, the leader should be a troubleshooter because when you are in a school, uh, you cannot say the kind of problem which will be arising because every day you get a new problem. So the best quality the leader as the principal of the school should possess, the moment he or she finds any kind of problem raised by either by the staff, by the parent, or by the student, should be able to provide the solution immediately. Instead of, say, like calling the teacher or who is the fault in all this n number of issues, diagnosis part that should be taken out the later one. First, the solution should be provided. So that's, in my opinion, the best title I could give for a leader, that should be a troubleshooter.
Wonderful. So, troubleshooting. All right. Preeti, ma'am.
A very good evening to everyone. I'm glad I got an opportunity to share such a platform with such renowned leaders. And I'll pick it up from both the leaders who just now spoke, Dr. Arun and Akhilesh ji, that according to me as a young leader, I sometimes feel that there's a need of communication, a very strong communication with your team. And leading a team would only help if you are proactively being observed. So I feel that if a leader has a plan, is proactively ready with what she wants to or he wants to go ahead in the school with, they should be a troubleshooter, as Sir said, but they should be also a good planner. A planning should be in a place where each one of the members who's being identified with a specific skill should be a contributor to the institution. That kind of an intelligence a leader needs to have today, because most of them are doing a lot of trainings, lot of work in the school. Each one of them is contributing, but who to contribute where in the school is very essential for a leader to find out. And I think that is what makes the whole school run in a proper way, according to me as a leader.
Wonderful. All right. Moving forward, Manoj Dubey, sir. आपके क्या विचार है?
All important points have already been mentioned by previous three speakers,
Right.
but I would like to add a few points. As a principal, as a leader, I think we have to synergize the whole system. We have to take all stakeholders together. Principal is in the continuous process of learning. Now, whatever we want our children to learn, principal has to behave in the same manner. If we want that school should be disciplined, teachers should be disciplined, children should be disciplined, then principal has to lead from the front. And the most important and challenging task for a principal is to take management together. Management has to endorse whatever policies you wish to pursue. So as a leader, I think principal's role is very, very important, and he or she has to show the path to others. If principal is disciplined, principal is hardworking, principal is knowledgeable, automatically these habits and these policies, these philosophies percolate down the order.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. What about you, Deepa, ma'am?
Good evening, everyone. I'm so lucky that I'm sharing this platform with all dignitaries. As a principal, I'm very young or new in this field, but still, according to me, a leader must be empathetic. First of all, this value should be there in a leader. Until unless we will not feel about the team, we cannot lead them. So empathy is must, as per my notion. And involvement. The leader should involve herself or himself with the team. Whatever planning they are doing, they must execute promptly. They must stand before them. And moreover, we must trust in our team. We must have goodwill with our team. Then only the team will proceed. And what I feel that appreciation must be done in public.
Right.
And if we feel that some flaw is there or some improvement is needed, that should be done in private. So if the leader follows all these things, that means the leader is understanding the emotional quotient also of the team. And then only the team can do the marvelous and the remarkable things. So I feel that empathy is must. The leader should be empathetic.
All right. So leaders should be empathetic and appreciation should happen publicly. That's a wonderful point. I hope everybody important is also listening. All right. Moving forward, taking cue very quickly from Dr. Preeti Ojha. Ma'am mentioned about that communication plays a vital role, communication with the team and communication with different stakeholders involved. So, as you are the leader of your particular schools, how have you ensured a flow of transparent communication and safe, secure, and transparent competition amongst all your stakeholders involved? Preeti ma'am.
Okay. Um, the the first stakeholder is the student, which I prefer to communicate the maximum with. And here I see that when the schools were running and when children were coming to school, there was never ever any gap between me and the children. That's the first way I used to communicate. And there was never any such situation where child has to wait to talk to the leader. They could meet me anytime. And I used to make sure to visit the classrooms and talk to the children. When coming online, every day we meet children, we talk to them, and in case we are not able to through teachers, we talk to them. And various other modes are being used to talk to the parents. We have our app that we use to meet the parents online in a safe environment. We make sure they write us mails. We have SMS also that helps us a lot. We have various other portals through which we connect with them. We use various social media through which we are connecting to them. Direct communication is also face to face after 29th of July when the first lockdown was over. And parents could come to the school and meet individually with an appointment. But meeting face to face is something which cannot be compensated on anything. So parents also can come and meet at any time before after 2 o'clock, and otherwise they can always come and meet us with an appointment. These are the ways that we have been communicating with all the stakeholders. But if you talk about the management, we keep meeting them every day. And if we talk about various other people associated with the institution, we have quarterly meetings in which we make sure that the entire team meets together and we make sure to keep engaging with them on various other occasions.
Right. Moving forward, Arun sir, how do you take care of the communication aspect?
Sir, EPMM has enumerated most of the things that we are using, and they are very vital, and we all are using that. What we do in our school, that we call it Parent Connect. We invite the entire family once in a year to the class, and they can spend the entire day with the child in the classroom, right from assembly to the evening time, whatever time they can afford. The smallest child, maybe 2 month old child, to the grandfather, all comes and they spend a day and have a feel what is actually happening in school, and that goes across the board. We ask them when they want to come, and whole year calendar is drawn, and almost daily we have two, three, four families coming and meeting parents. They meet the teacher, they sit in the classroom, they go to sports room, they go to cafeteria, they go everywhere. That day they become part of a school. So daily we have three, four, five families who are in the school, in the classroom, everywhere. So that way we have a quite transparent system when parent, and then after that they have come and discussed the principal, discussed with me to tell what they have observed and what improvement they need. And when we started this program, we had a lot of apprehension. People were saying they will see all our loopholes and they will create problems and they will say this and that. But finally, when I noticed from almost 12, 13 years I'm doing from many schools, I still have to come very uncomfortable situation. Yes, no doubt. Sometimes they will not be very pleasant information which we get from them. But overall, it has been very successful program, and parents, when they come and see what is happening in the classroom, and when they go and tell back to their children, and the confidence level to school increases. This is what I wanted to add in Priti ma'am's deliberation which they gave. Please.
Wonderful, sir. So, according to sir, physical interaction plays a much more vital role. Deepa ma'am, I would like to go with you. Um in how do you maintain communication? The lines of
Yeah,
communication.
I totally agree with Preeti ma'am. Whatever whatever platform she is using, the same platforms we are also using. But one more thing I just want to discuss to share over here that I have direct communication with my kids. There is no barrier. They do not need any appointment to meet me. They can come to my office at any time. And moreover, the thing gives me satisfaction when the child comes to me and complains about his parents that papa is not doing this thing and mama is not doing this thing. That means they are keeping us edge over than their parents also. So I feel satisfied at that time that we have created a trust, we have built up the trust among the students. And as for the parents concerned, we have PTMs, time and again we have PTMs with them. And during this lockdown period, we were meeting them on online platforms, but we have not created any gap between the communication, and it was direct and transparent communication. If I talk about stakeholders, means managers and all that, we have different modes. We conduct the school management committee meetings very frequently. We have made our email IDs which are being used by we people only, and we communicate almost every day with each other. As for parents concerned, we are inviting the parents, and even parents are taking some workshops also for the students. They are providing them some lessons wherever they are expertise, and we are calling them as honor parents. We have named them as honor parents. So in such a way, we are maintaining a communication with the all members of the school.
Okay. Any honor parents for you, Akhilesh sir?
I think uh, all points have been covered. Uh, like we all they say like because say like in our schools, uh, we we are meeting parents very frequently, and especially if I talk about my school, in my school we do not have any visiting hours for the parents. That's important because normally when you will notice if you visit any good school or you go there, you will find that the visiting hours for parents or the principal may be either 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning, or maybe 12:30 to 1:30 or 2 to 3 p.m. I have not put up any visiting hours. Only the in the I should be present in the campus and the parent will walk in. If I am in the office, then parent will be called immediately. If I am somewhere on the round or maybe taking class or discussing in a meeting, then the parent need to wait. That's uh, something which I do. Another thing, what I do with the parents, see, now my school is a 25-year-old school. So we have got a very good set of alumni, we who are at a very good positions, and then same is with the parents. So I generally invite the parents and I request them to come and discuss with the students about the profession what they are catering to. Means suppose I have got one parent who's a commercial pilot.
Wow.
He's a captain with AirAsia. Now that gentleman came and interacted to my 10th, 11th and 12th class students and explained if somebody wants to make a career in aviation, how you can become a commercial pilot, how you can procure a CPL commercial pilot license, then what are the possible options, what kind of revenues you will be getting, what kind of challenges you will be facing. So all those kind of things. So this is something that we are doing, which is giving a very good exposure to the students. And when a particular person from a particular profession comes and describes about anything, then probably the knowledge imparted is better. These are a couple of things which I am doing, and apart from the normal, which most of the good schools are doing there.
Manoj sir?
बहुत अच्छा बताया all previous principles. I think what I feel that communication should be in such a manner that whosoever is coming should feel happy talking to you. That should be the mode of communication. Direct communication, yes, face to face, that is one. But this corona, this adversity has created some opportunity for us the way we are talking online. So communication has to be effective. There should not be any communication gap. Regular meetings depending on the situation. You meet the management, you meet the parents, you meet the teachers, you meet the children. And as Akhilesh ji has said, there should not be any barrier. Anyone can come and meet you anytime. And I repeat my point, one should feel happy and comfortable communicating to you. That should be the mode of communication.
Okay, wonderful. Moving forward from mode of communication to building, basically what it plays an important role in is it helps in building a long-lasting relationship. Now, uh, and in order to do that, it is absolutely imperative that you keep the people engaged with you. And with this Corona times and during these Corona times, we saw a gargantuan shift towards new education or new style of learning, or basically online education or blended education. What new techniques have you adopted in your school to keep everybody engaged, whether it is developing content which will include parents and mothers, or maybe mobile communication or mobile app or something of that sort? Starting with Arun sir.
Sir, engaging a person is one thing, but challenging a person perhaps more important. See, if we challenge a person, challenge gives a aim, gives objective, gives some purpose. And if we give aims, objective, purpose, and as Sir Manoj sir has told that we make happiness in the environment, person will be engaged. Generally, what we do, we give some just work that everyone should do. Like in, said in army, they open the trench and they close it again because people have to be involved all the time. That type of activity will not work in today's learner. They can be very well engaged if we give them something which they like to do, which stimulates their mind and which helps them in future. The way we have been teaching our children that we were teaching some syllabus. So learning that syllabus was the part of whole learning. What for, why, what the benefit, that was not part of the whole education journey. Now with the new national education policy, with the total shift, with the schools, progressive schools like all of you are working. Here we challenge children and we engage them all possible means. Now we are working almost running the hybrid school, right? From the online tools to the digital tools available to creativity available. So every school is arranging so many activities now that children are totally engaged, involved, and enjoying as also. That's what technology has added. The children are enjoying learning much more than they have been doing. So many tools are available, right from near power to any tool which children are using in the classroom. That's creating wonders. So that's what is going to help a lot to whole education community and all the children.
Right. What about you, Akhilesh sir?
Similar, like as Arun sir said, we're also using these online classes, and then probably, as you said, the blended learning and all. Now the students have started coming to the school also. The 10th and 12th grade students are coming, so they are doing their experiments and all. Basically, my motto is also the same as sir said, because if you ask a child to do something which he or she likes, then the performance is going to be the better. So for example, I'll quote one example of my school. In grade 11, normally the schools put certain bar, like if you have scored 90% in grade 10, only when you will get a science stream. Or say 85%, then you have a commerce stream, and then the below, then you have got an art stream, something that kind of restrictions are there. So by doing this, automatically we have created a difference among the subjects. A particular child wants to opt for a science, and for some XYZ reason, he could not score the marks as desired by the institution, and then uh, without, though he doesn't like, now he has to opt another stream which he doesn't like. So in that situation, that's a torture for him to attend the classes 11th and 12th. The performance is going to be very poor. In spite of this, what I did in my school, which I like to highlight, after grade 10, I told all my students, choose the choice of your stream, choose the stream of your choice. जो स्ट्रीम आपको सबसे अच्छी लगती है, जो आप बनना चाहते हो जिंदगी में, उसके लिए जो कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सब्जेक्ट चाहिए वो आप चूज कीजिए। एक महीने पढ़ लो, अगर आपको लगता है कि उस सब्जेक्ट को आप कोप अप नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो हमसे आके मिलो, हमारे टीचर्स और हम आपको असिस्ट करेंगे, पहले सोचेंगे और हम स्ट्रीम चेंज कर देंगे। बट एक महीने के बाद अगर आपने नाउ यू हैव ऑप्टेड द साइंस स्ट्रीम बाय योर चॉइस, यू हैव ऑप्टेड द कॉमर्स स्ट्रीम बाय योर चॉइस, यू हैव ऑप्टेड द ह्यूमैनिटीज बाय योर चॉइस, नाउ you need to give your 100%, no relaxation. Now you cannot come and approach us for any excuse for not performing in that particular area which you have chosen by yourself, because what you desired we permitted. Now you need to perform up to the expectations. So those kind of things are there. Similarly, the other areas, whenever we need to divide these students, because in the school you require the children those who are good in the sports, children those who are good in music, in all other areas. So whenever we have to choose a particular set of children, so depending upon the interest in all, then we assign them the responsibilities. So these kind of policies I am using, by which probably all of us are engaged almost all the time as we are present in the school. So these kind of things I am for.
Wonderful. What about you, Deepa ma'am?
Actually, what I feel that an engaged student is a lifelong learner. Once the child is engaged in the activities, the child is not going to forget it lifelong. It will remain with the child lifelong. So, engagement of a child is must. That is why CBSE or new education policy all are emphasizing on this experiential learning to child from rote learning. So, engagement of a child is must. Moreover, engagement should be in behavioral part, emotional part, and cognitive also. Once the behavior part, the child is engaged in the behavior, so behavior should be kept under the surveillance, kept must be observed, and we must do the changes in the behavior of the child, which will bring or which will help the child to become a gentleman or a social citizen to live together with the society. And the emotional one, the emotional quotient, that is also very must. A child must be engaged in emotional values also. So empathy must be inculcated, and moreover cognitive. Ultimate goal is cognitive. The intelligence must be there, and we have to engage a child in such a manner that once the child goes out of this school curriculum or after 12 becomes employable. So we must keep focus that each and every child must be in the areas wherever they feel at ease and their interest of area. So engagement of a child is must.
Okay, engagement is a child is a must. Then, Manoj Dubey sir, what are your viewpoints?
One is regarding this online teaching, as we all are doing it. One thing a little different we have done here. One class in a week is of physical exercises or yoga, and that even parents can join. So that is the appeal school has made, because children are not moving out to play in the park. Some obesity is on rise. So this is becoming popular now. Once in a week, parents and children Both are doing yoga with the school teacher and the exercise. That is one. Second, what Akhilesh ji was saying regarding choice of the subjects, he is very right because no child is good in all the subjects. Each child is having some specialty. So let us not force some particular subject or some particular stream on a child. Let us take him or her into confidence and see the potential, then decide what subjects best are suited to that particular child.
Okay, so you're talking about tailor-made and custom-made. All right, moving forward, Akhilesh sir, what about you?
I've already expressed my views.
Oh, okay. I don't think so anybody is left with the views for this question, right? Preeti ma'am, yes, sorry ma'am.
Okay, I would like to let everybody know here that one thing is understood to all the leaders that online learning wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It is one of the options that's going to be there with offline. So we teachers and the parents and the students together have thought of getting onto blended learning for the future also. This
Mm-hmm.
corona and this pandemic has made sure that the percentage of the child after 12th, the job opportunity after 12th is not the only way to survive, but the intelligence to survive is very important. So if a child makes sure that that child is engaged in the class, who does that? Ultimately, a principal doesn't go in a class to do that, nor the parent comes in the class. It's only the teacher who can make the difference. So if the teacher has the feedback, which is essential and which usually uh, teachers wouldn't like it every time from the parents or the children, if that part is also reaching to them, they will realize what kind of transformation they need to bring in their classroom. Extremely essential. If a teacher thinks that blended learning or a hybrid learning is something to bring in some blogs and some videos and a YouTube channel and some movies, that's not blended learning. Blended learning basically, which I feel, is to bring in a small engagement in between, which allows them to engage and participate. It is not something to show and go away. It is something that has a movie which is muted and let children speak a story around it. Let the teacher get a feedback of what exactly the child is thinking even before she starts the class. And if they get to know the feedback that I would like to be more auditory, or I would like to have more visuals, or I would like to have a situation, ma'am, or if I would like to do a case study, I would like to do a small research. Why didn't you ask me to find out something? These things are supposed to be infused in the future curriculum. It cannot be something that a teacher today wants that the weather is very beautiful, let's open this chapter and teach it. That's not going to work because it has to be very uniform with all the parents and the children. So I think that's one thing that we are working towards is to reinvent our curriculum with the help of NEP 2020, bring in blended learning, making sure a very strong and a robust feedback from the parents and the students to directly go to the teachers so that there is a need of reformation but not judgments. This is something that we are trying with our way of changing the curriculum.
Okay, so need of reformation, not judgment. So that's a very strong statement. All right, moving forward, uh, one of the biggest factor in a student's or a motivating factor, or maybe the biggest factor or a place we can call it is home, where he spends his maximum amount. And specifically, abhi to because we were in a lockdown, so uh, during the crisis, it is the only place where he was spending time. How did you, as an educator, ensure that and how will you now ensure, basically, now the schools are opening, what safety measures you have undertaken for student safety, so that now they can feel much more comfortable in joining the school back, beginning with Preeti ma'am.
So with me, it was a very, very glad moment when the school head called up and she said that she would like to participate in creating a video for all the parents to reduce the fear factor, which was in itself speaking a lot. So we called the whole prefectorial board to the school with all the precautionary measures. We told them how exactly we would be going through the SOP. They all read the SOP. They said that these are few things that they would also like to add in. And then we made sure that the entire recording of the school till the classroom, a little bit of class teaching, and then the child leaving after the school is entirely recorded and being sent to the parents. Second was letting the teachers know to do an orientation one to one with the parents who think that the child is physically unwell or maybe immunity low, diabetic, and they do not want to send the children. So, with medical concern, those was taken care of. A strong orientation of the counselor has been happening with the parents and the students together. And we have a few more speakers who have been speaking to the parents. I have personally spoken to the parents and let them know what exactly are we doing in our school to make this measure go absolutely error free. So parents and students, it's a real fact, but that fear factor cannot just go away in a orientation or in a video. It has to be repetitively told as well as made them believe that the teachers are coming to the school, and about 30% of the children started coming. Those pictures and other kinds of information were being posted on our social media, which is only for our parents. So parents started having a little confidence on how they should now be sending their children. So this is how we have started our way of contributing safety measure in the school for parents' mindset.
Wonderful. What about you, Arun, sir?
Sir, schools are taking utmost care. Whatever schools can do in sensitizing the school staff, sensitizing the children, making all possible measures. But things are, I feel, beyond school only. When child sees the same parent going outside without mask, when people come in home and they come from outside and they mix without any precaution, and suddenly we ensure 100% obedience and compliance in school, this also becomes difficult because school is also a part of society. Very often we forget. We assume school is ideal. Everywhere outside things may go wrong, but school nothing should go wrong. No, that is possible. If same child goes with the family outside the market and do not use mask, and a class 3 child, class 2 child, even I think classes will start and corona will not be totally out. So children observe from the society. Our saying our things, okay, madam said we'll have camera, we'll have recording, but not all the time. When they go, where to go? So this whole hygienic situation holds this issue, but parents also have to understand this orientation of the parents perhaps more important. And when parent and child and school sit together, explain them this is required and how is really going to. Because unfortunately, in India, we have not really understood that how difficult corona is and what is happening. We go with the statistics, only 1.15% people are dying. 1.5% maybe my turn, maybe someone else in my family. What will happen to them? So that particular information, not only from schools are doing, I'm sure there is no school who is taking any lapse of making this, but at this time, perhaps parents have to make more important role, not only to tell them, to show them by their own behavior that if they will follow all the norms and all the things, children will be automatically following. But assuming that we will not follow, society will not follow, and once they will go to school they will 100% right, and school should not get, if one corona comes in school, school will be shut down, but offices people are getting corona and nothing happens to them. So this also has to be understood, please.
Right. That's actually a very good point that because it's easy to point out fingers कि हाँ स्कूल में ये होना चाहिए वो होना चाहिए ये बहुत सही बात है दीपा मैम what about you?
Yeah, Arun sir, I'm totally agree with you. If a child teaches a lesson to the elders, so that lesson goes to our mind as well as to heart also. So I have one incident of that. A parent came to me and said that my son every day says to me that wear belt before driving. So earlier I was not, fastening my belt, but now I have started. I am afraid of this boy. He
Ma'am,
has
but you
become
should be afraid. You should be afraid of the police. That is all, and that is for your
the
safety
child
only.
taught the lesson. The child taught the lesson. And if I talk about the safety measures in the school, see, before this COVID period, I had appointed, I had taken a group of students and named them as Eagle Group. Means they are keeping an eye. So
No.
some Eagle groups are there in buses also, in classrooms also. If any fictitious things or suspicious thing goes on, or they feel like that, they inform their teachers, their leader, these Eagle group leaders also. So in this way, the student themselves are keeping surveillance amongst themselves. So one thing that I am doing, and whatever Priti ma'am said, all these protocols and SOPs we all are following in the schools. I hope everybody is following all that. And when a parent give the child to the school, that means they are giving the custody of the child to the school. That means it is our utmost responsibility and duty to keep these children safe, and more safe than home. Sometimes homes are also not safe, if we say, as sir said, obviously, Dr. Arun sir said, even homes are not safe, but we must ensure that we are giving safe environment to the children. So then only our job will be justified.
मैम जॉब जस्टिफिकेशन की बात पता नहीं, बट आप अगर ऐसे गैंग्स बनाने लग पड़ोगे, ईगल गैंग, बिच्छू गैंग, मैम आप तो सीक्रेट सर्विसेज खोलने लग पड़े हो. बट गुड एफर्ट, दैट्स अ वेरी,
This is under POXO rule.
yeah, but this is very innovative thing that students basically self monitoring. Akhilesh sir, what about you?
Almost all points have been covered by the previous speakers. Apart from that, say like what one good thing I have done in my school. See, we did the orientation program for the parents class-wise online, where myself and my all teachers and a couple of my alumni, those who are doctors, conveyed the various protocols. Then we sent the same protocols in writing to the parents, and when the students they came to the school, then we have a trained medical staff who was deputed at the school gate to do thermal screening and then the various initial checkup, and then the students are asked to report to the various classrooms in smaller groups. And in case we notice that some child has a high temperature or any cough or cold, then immediately we isolated that particular child and asked the parent to take him or her back. And routine classes also we announce is somehow if you develop any kind of say the high temperature or the nausea or the cold or cough, then do not report to the school. So those kind of things we are following and repeatedly giving these informations to the parents and the students again. Because see, like normally children, once you say something to them and you assume that they are going to follow every time, then we are mistaken. Because if we do not do the repeated attempts to them, then they tend to forget. बच्चे तो बच्चे ही है ना, तो बार बार उनको याद दिलाना जरूरी होता है. तो वो एक और जगह जगह बहुत सारे पोस्टर्स लगा रखे हैं कैंपस में, डूज एंड डोंट्स, एंड म्यूचुअली भी बच्चों को मतलब कि when say like when you communicate, then do not communicate with a lesser distance or maybe when you walk. So all those kind of basic things that we are conveying. And apart from that, we are also counseling the parents and requesting them that you should also sensitize your child at home. आप अपने बच्चे को घर से भी तैयार करके भेजो कि स्कूल में कैसे रहना है, क्योंकि अगर कुछ हो गया तो सफर आपका बच्चा करेगा, हम तो करेंगे ही करेंगे, बट नुकसान आपके बच्चे को भी होगा. तो दोस काइंड ऑफ थोड़े से ये चीजें हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. Probably that's coming out to be the good one.
Wonderful. So naturally sensitization तो बहुत जरूरी है ही सर. अखिलेश सर, मनोज सर, आपके क्या विचार हैं इस बारे में?
देखिए, we are sanitizing the classrooms and campus and sensitizing the parents, teachers, and the children about it. In fact, school is part of the society, so it is not proper to look at school in isolation. As per the government guidelines, we are following the protocol, but simply we follow does not help much. It has to be followed by the society as a whole. And I'm sure that in the days to come, as one of the speakers said, fear factor is there that is prevailing. And in my school, only 10% children are attending, and because of this fear factor. I'm sure and I hope that in coming days, this number of children coming to school will increase, but definitely fear factor is dominating.
ओके सो फियर का ज़्यादा डर है लोगों में, असली में तथ्य कुछ बेशक कम होगा. ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन टू द लास्ट सेगमेंट ऑफ द वेबिनार. Few takeaways which I want to take from this webinar, and I'm sure my audience would be interested in the same as well, is that when we talk about building a community, or building a reliable community around whether it's a school, whether it's an organization, or whether it's an individual, uh, it provides us with a sense of security. It provides us with a sense of cultural, safe cultural environment. uh, in a competitive space like school, is it possible that a child might feel threatened because अब सब कुछ वापस नॉर्मल आ रहा है, तो वो जो जो जैसे पहले कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन था कि हाँ नहीं नहीं, लाइफ इज अ रेस एंड ये एंड वो, और शुड वी आल्सो नाउ फोकस ऑन एम्पैथी, kindness, and all these things now since the school reopens, because this has been the biggest lecture, this COVID has been the biggest lecture for human civilization. Beginning with Preeti ma'am, what do you think, how which approach you will take?
I totally agree with you. Talking about academics, scores, and numbers has failed in many families, because when parents couldn't handle it with so many years of education from our country, and they have got into depression, some of the parents have separated, some of the parents haven't been able to send their children to school and not able to have any different kind of a job, and they feel that the family has come to a corner. This shows that there was a very vital need of life skill to exist,
Hmm.
coexist in academics, which could have helped them. If not A, then why not to go for B? If that planning comes in the family itself, and I feel that somewhere the education system must have failed, because if the planning would have been there since a very long time, where children could have been told that always becoming a doctor or an engineer is not the fate of your life. Surviving in the worst situation is the human need at any cost on this globe. We are the only ones who have the minds and the brains to make sure to develop solutions during any crisis. And situation for children nowadays school most of the time is learn, enter the examination, get it cleared, get into a college. What exactly to do after going inside the college? Will the child be able to handle any situation which is worse? Is something essential, which I'm so happy and glad that NEP has brought in 6th, 7th, 8th, the vocational skills, where now we have got the opportunity for our children to bring in a different kind of a learning style. If the child is able to do a different kind of an academics other than only writing paper pen exam, I think this will bring a lot of change. NDP in the formative session, now getting into a different kind of teaching learning format, has also brought in a lot of change in our teaching style. And I'm sure in future, most of the schools will look forward for how the child is behaving in a different kind of a situation rather than only academically excelling.
Right. So again, concurring with the same, Arun sir, what are your viewpoints?
Well, sir, schools by and large were preparing children only for the next examination so that they can crack some job and can lead some good financial life. The whole preparation was for that. And unfortunately, this is the biggest mistake, because education should be for life. As madam told, that how a person will be able to lead a beautiful life in future, that should have been aim in all the school. And I'm very happy that over the years for which I was fighting with whole system, that okay, your child should know the subject, but his subject alone is necessary for child to lead a good life. I always say that academics is like a breathing. You have to need a good breathing, you need very good air. But can you survive only by breathing? Breathing is very much important. Without breathing, you cannot survive, no doubt. Academics is very, very important. But academics alone cannot be ensured by a living person because you need food also, you need recreation, also you need enjoyment also, and you need the social adjustment also. And all these aspects have been neglected from the school. The school thought our role is, and because the whole economics developed in such a way that parents want our child to get job, so we should satisfy parent. What child needs, child was neglected. In fact, schools were never teaching as per requirement of the child. They were teaching as per requirement of the parents or requirement of the society, not of the child's need, which is totally is a good thing for the schools because now schools are equipped with NEP. School is being empowered that you are officially allowed to do what is good for the child. Previously, schools were, and biggest problem was coming from the parents. Satisfying parent, telling parent that we are developing a good communication is a skill in your child, which perhaps will be more important for the child. But वो साथ का पढ़ा हमारे बच्चे को नहीं आया. उसके बाबा ने पूछा कि वो स्पेलिंग नहीं बता पा रहा है. तो आप क्या पढ़ाते हैं? ये तो जो घर में मम्मा ने सिखा के भेजा था वो भी आपका बच्चा भूल गया. देखिए वो सारी स्पेलिंग आती थी, आज नहीं आ जा रहा है. सिर्फ पूछिए, सिर्फ स्पेलिंग और पहाड़े से जिंदगी नहीं चलेगी. कैसे एक दूसरे से बात करना है, हाउ टू बिहेव विथ ईच अदर, हाउ टू इंटरेक्ट विथ ईच अदर. तो सही भी छोड़िए, अगर आईआईटी के बच्चे को आज गर्लफ्रेंड के साथ डांस करना नहीं आएगा तो हो सकता है गर्लफ्रेंड छोड़ के भाग जाए. आज के समय में आज उतनी ही जरूरी हो गई है कि बच्चा कैसे सोशल सोसाइटी में एग्जिस्ट करता है. आईआईटी टॉपर हो सकता है, लेकिन कल को आईआईटी टॉपर को भी मैनेजमेंट करना है, लोगों को भी करना है. 2-3 साल के बाद अच्छा से बड़ा बड़ा इंजीनियर भी मैनेजर बन जाता है. तो अल्टीमेटली तो सबको मैनेजर बनना है. हमें टीचर ये प्रिंसिपल भी अल्टीमेटली मैनेजर ही है. तो जब मैनेजर बनना है जिंदगी में और मैनेजमेंट हम नहीं सिखा रहे हैं और उसको सिर्फ फैक्ट सिखा रहे हैं, तो पूरी लाइफ के लिए स्कूल की तरफ से जो फिर हमने जब एमएससी पीएचडी करके यूनिवर्सिटी से बाहर निकला था मैं, तो मुझे लग रहा था आई एम जस्ट वेस्टेड माय 28 years in university. I am totally useless for the society. What is the, and I was a good student, I was a studious student, I was always going to student, I followed everything told by the teachers. And as a result, I am almost useless to society. I am not able to do anything as per the training which has been provided. So I am very glad this NEP and the new age of teachers, the new technology is giving opportunity for everyone to explore and giving platform to children to just go wherever they can go. We only can push them. Rest is their own life. And that's what we all are working now.
Right. Sir raised a very important. Sir, actually, you reminded me of a very important thing. Robert Kiyosaki keeps on talking about. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he keeps on mentioning that our education system around the world, is corrupted. It is based on people, or they are basically manufacturing slaves. The biggest important factor, because आप जो मर्जी करिए, at the end of the day what are you doing? You are going to generate money, you are going to generate revenue. आपको सबसे पहला बेसिक जो चीज है वो मनी मैनेजमेंट सिखाना चाहिए. सर ने जैसे मैन मैनेजमेंट बोला, मनी मैनेजमेंट, मैन मैनेजमेंट, जो ये बेसिक चीजें हमें सिखानी चाहिए. बट खैर वो तो उनकी बात है. अखिलेश सर, आप बताइए.
मेरा व्यू पॉइंट थोड़ा सा अलग होगा यहाँ पे. See, I never blame schools for not giving the good education, the quality education or the desired education. A child comes to school, पहले ये बताओ बच्चा स्कूल आता क्यों? हम ये नहीं, because जब से ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई है, बहुत सारे लोगों ने पुराने एजुकेशन सिस्टम को बहुत ब्लेम करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, assuming the same कि like prior to this NEP schools were doing nothing. And many, I think some of the speakers have used the statement, we are producing only babus and all that thing. Fortunately, I am one of the members who has been initially involved in the drafting of this new education policy. So I know, because the new education policy is also being made by the people, those who have got the education from these old education policy. See, that's the thing. स्कूल्स वो कर रहे हैं जिससे वो सरवाइव कर सकते हैं। पेरेंट आपके बच्चे को अपने स्कूल में तभी भेजेगा जो उसको चाहिए वो मिले। अदरवाइज आज के टाइम में आप हर 50 मीटर पे यू विल गेट वन स्कूल एंड दैट टू नॉट मतलब से लाइक अ ब्रांडेड स्कूल। So basically, academics is the backbone for anybody. और academic standards अगर जब तक हम बहुत अच्छे नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम दूसरी चीजों में आगे नहीं जा सकते। ये मेरा व्यक्तिगत सोचना, हमारे वाइफ पर वेरी पर्सनल व्यू। Life skills are important. Everything is important. As I do agree with Dr. Arun Prakash ji, uh, the education is or the academics like a breathing. Also, which is the most essential part because without breathing we cannot survive. So in that situation, so basically depending upon the aptitude of the child, जो पॉलिसी स्कूल बनाता है या जिस तरीके से इम्पार्ट कर रहा है, तो जो बच्चे का एप्टीट्यूड है उसके बेसिस पे वट एवर इज रिक्वायर्ड इन द डिजायर, तो दैट शुड बी गिवन. So that is one point. Second point, which rightly you had pointed, कि बच्चे डर रहे होंगे, सब कुछ वापस से आ रहा है, सारी चीजें हैं कैसे? That's really because as now when we had these online education, exams were also conducted online, and I am sure my all four learned colleagues with me, they will agree. If you see the scores of the student in these examination which we had conducted online, percentage बच्चों की अगर आप देखेंगे तो majority are getting 80%, 85%, 90% or even the 100%. यानी जो बच्चा हमारे पास पिछले 5 साल से पढ़ रहा है तो उसकी कितनी कैपेबिलिटी है और क्या है वो हमें पता है अच्छे तरीके से. तो किस किस तरीके से जो बच्चों के मार्क्स आगे आ रहे थे, दैट प्रोबेबली द पेरेंट नोज एंड देन द चिल्ड्रन दोज हु आर स्कोरिंग दैट डे. तो अब जैसे ही उनको पता चला कि नाउ वी विल हैव ऑफलाइन एग्जाम एंड ऑफलाइन क्लासेस, तो वो पुराने तरीके से, तो दैट फियर इज ऑलवेज देयर इन द माइंड ऑफ द पेरेंट्स एज वेल एज द स्टूडेंट्स. So वो again say like we need to do a little bit counseling and then we need to make them understand again like this pandemic period, that was a part. The education needs to be imparted the way it was imparted earlier, and it needs to be imparted so that it caters to the need of the society. These are a couple of points that I hope this, with my due apology to all my speakers if I have said something which may have felt it wrong. So, my God, please.
नहीं Akhilesh sir.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. It was absolutely a pleasure listening to you.
दूसरी बार करता. It's always a pleasure, sir. Everybody, we all have different point of views, and yes, you are also right that everybody is surviving. This year has been a year of survival, to be very honest.
टाइम पूरा हो गया क्या?
सर बस होने वाला है, आप ही की बारी का वेट है अगला.
बस मैं लास्ट में एक ही पॉइंट कहने वाला था. हमारे प्रीवियस स्पीकर से बहुत अच्छा बोला. एक बैलेंस इन लाइफ इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Academics important, that is one part, but life skills are not less important. So first thing after this corona, we have to make sure that children are made free from all the fears, and health is to be accorded the top priority. As far as education is concerned, I think a school is not the only place that is educating the children. Education starts from home first. So that also we have to keep in mind that children have basic values. They need to learn to respect their parents, mother, who is the first teacher. So these things, I think, and we prepare the child to help the society in what best way he or she can. Academics definitely is important, but then academics is not the only thing. So keep a balance, and then we have to move ahead.
Okay. So, Deepa ma'am, what about you?
Yes.
Last word.
I agree with all speakers, and I just want to add in this: character building is equally important. Building a child as an employer. The thing is that character building or the character begins from the leader and it passes to the teacher and teacher to the students. So ultimately, we can assess ourselves also whether we are successful in building characters or not. See, if I talk about, I do not know whether anybody has experienced it or not, but we have started one new experiment that invigilator free exams. Is it possible? So 90% student, they tend to cheat. Invigilator is not there, obviously. That means we have not built up the characters yet. We need brushing up over there. Same in the online exams also. They were, asking for the help and all that. As I got the feedback from the parents, they said that they were opening books and all that. Cameras were off. Sometimes they, give the excuse of internet and all that. But they tend to cheat. So if they are cheating, that means we have not imbibed the values in them, and we need to do work on this point. Definitely.
Deepa, that exactly is the problem. We are lacking somewhere. We have not been able to make the children honest to themselves.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Wait,
definitely.
wait. I would like to interject here between. It's not just the students.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm starting from principal itself.
No. It's not the principal
He's
itself.
coming to the point. It's can I say like
Akhilesh sir,
put up your point of view,
मेरे को भी
because
यही बोलना था.
parents are very very important in that situation. See,
Exactly.
like in online classes, many parents have supported the children कि भाई उनके बच्चों के नंबर अच्छे आ जाए ताकि उनकी सोसाइटी में इमेज बन जाए हमारी
Again,
children
number
को
what?
इमेज बिना तो that
My
is very
कराया
point,
गया,
सर मैं इससे एक और
चीटिंग कराया गया अच्छी तरह से।
नहीं मैं इससे एक और स्टेप आगे चला जाता हूँ हम वी इंडियंस एज अ सोसाइटी वी लैक इंटेग्रिटी।
Yes.
ये तो सर आपको भी ये हर किसी को लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट हमें मानना ही पड़ेगा। अच्छा कोई देख नहीं रहा चलो कर लेता हूँ। या if I damage public property, like I'll give you a very live example that happened in front of me in Delhi. I was a school student at that point of time and metro खुली थी नई नई, ठीक है। उस दिल्ली मेट्रो में प्रीति मैम को पता होगा मैम 2005 से पता नहीं कब जाके दिल्ली मैं 12वीं 11वीं में होऊंगा उस टाइम पे शाहदरा वाली मेट्रो की रेल खुली थी पहली बारी मेट्रो ट्रेन राइट। The on the glass it was written it is a scratch free glass, do not try to scratch it. People were actually rubbing their keys and checking it out whether it was scratch proof or not. ये तो हमारी हालत है। So मैम
वैल्यूज की बात होती है। वैल्यूज यही है कि ये जो पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी है वो हमारी प्रॉपर्टी है, जिस दिन ये सेंस आएगा तो जो आप बता रहे हैं स्क्रैचिंग नहीं होगी।
राइट Deepa ma'am,
there is the role of a school with this society if we
Exactly.
work and change them, and that future depends on the children in the school and the teachers and the parents. Those who are new parents are coming, they are more integrated. So future is bright. I believe in future that new generation which will come will have more integrity, will be more transparent, will be working with more concern to the country. And with this hopeful note, I'm sure that schools will do their duty and they are doing with in help of NEP. Perhaps it will take it much further direction.
right. So on this hopeful note, let us end this webinar that absolutely yes, we have a bright future, we have a good future, and we are going to see some massive changes in our country. Thank you so much, Arun sir. Thank you so much, Akhilesh sir. Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, Manoj sir, Priti ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. It was a pleasure hosting each and every one of you. And again, lovely insights and lovely conversations. Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you for inviting us and giving us the opportunity.
we believe in change and we are the change makers and we will do it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. We truly believe in you. Thank you, sir.